What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Team Solemn Circus live video. To the left side here, we have Snake Eyes with the Cashier engine going up against Sprite on the right side here. We are seeing Sprite going to be choosing to go first, starting off with a copy of Sprite Starter. That's going to let them summon out a level 2 from their deck, being a blue, red, carrot, or just getting hit with Ash Blossom. So maybe hoping that they don't have another way to extend, but they do have a Prosperity here, going to be able to dig 6 cards into their deck. There is lots of good targets that we could maybe search for. We could search for maybe a copy of a Beaver. We do see double reds, Angler, as well as another starter and the Ice Bearer card. So the newly released, not the newest release, of the Battles of Legend brought us 2 new cards for the Sprite strategy. One of them being a true new card with a Mirror Mage, which can then let us search for a copy of the spell. Which brings back out the copy of Mirror, which is pretty nice. But we're going to be passing turn on this, adding, I believe that was an Imperm or a hand trap there. But we're going to be seeing the opponent to be able to start off with a Wanted, a lot more powerful than the Sprite cards, unfortunately. Sprite being very fair to play against. But we do see these Snake Eyes cards being absolutely crazy. We're going to search for the Diabells. Diabell's going to activate effects, sending a copy of the Snake Eyes Diabells to summon herself out. And we do see that Imperm being hit on that. But we have a normal summon of a Poplar, which is then going to activate the effect to search for a copy of the Origins or the copy of the Field Spell. We are going to be seeing a Veiler being hit on that, being able to stop those Wanted, or I guess the Sinful Spoils cards being searched. If we would have let the Wanted as well as the Poplar to go through, we would have been able to search for the Field Spell as well as the level 1 Searcher, which is going to then let us summon out the Ash or an Oak, depending on what we want to. We can link away here for perhaps even an SP, getting the effect of the Poplar in the graveyard to put the Snake Eyes Diabell Star onto the Spell and Trap card zone, which will then summon itself out. Or we can just link away up into a copy of the Anima to do the exact same thing. So Anima, or we're going to be going for the Snake Eyes Diabell Star into the Spell and Trap card zone. And we do actually put the copy of Ash here into the Spell and Trap card zone. And we are going to go to battle phase here and attack, dealing some heavy damage before we maybe go up into a copy of the SP. Not really needing to go for any of the Hitas because we don't have anything in the graveyard. We could go for a line if we wanted to for Princess. But Princess going up into a Link 4 is not going to do very much for us. But we're going to go SP, banishing a copy of a Veiler there just for the ability. Oh, first off, I guess we can talk about the fact that it can be for the Bystials because Bystials are now being played. But it could also just be for, stopping any spellcaster routes if they want to go for maybe any of the Celine plays. But I don't think that Sprite really does that. We're going to go for a Prosperity once again here, only for 3 this time. We already have lost 9 cards from our extra deck, being quite deep. We do see a Swap Frog being searched. Swap Frog pairs really well with that copy of the Mirror Mage, which we can special with the copy of Fenrir as well, being able to put a lot of pressure on it. Are we going to see a battle phase attack with the Fenrir? But we are not. We're going to see a special summon out of a Swap Frog. Swap Frog is going to activate the effects, or normal summon out with Swap Frog, I believe. And they are going to chain the SP. We chain a Ghost Ogre to this. And we're going to be able to dump the Mage. Mage will then let us be able to search for the copy of the Field Spell. We also get the chain block the copy of Fenrir here. But they do have a Veiler themselves in the hand. We're going to be seeing the Veiler on that copy of Fenrir. And we do search for that spell to bring back out. They're going to read the Diabell Star because it can bring itself out here if it's sent to the graveyard. And I believe it can also bring out the Snake Eyes Diabell Star as well. We do play the spell to summon out the copy of the Mage. We can actually go right up into a copy of Totally Awesome if we want to here, or going up into the copy of Sprint. Sprint can then send the copy of Angler. Angler can bring out double Beavers, and we now have lots of Sprite combos being able to be made. We can go into the Gigantic, which can search for the blue, which search for Jet or Red or Carrot. We now only have one card left in the hand, and most likely are not going to be discard or using it as a hand trap unless it's a high impact hand trap, like in the Nibiru here. We are going to be seeing them activate the effect, and it is a copy of Ghost Ogre here. This is going to stop the Gigantic altogether because it does have to attach for effect. So very impactful here. But now they can actually beat over the copy of Diabellstar freely if they can find a Link monster to go up into to kind of stop that. Putting them on a top deck mode here, especially if they can get maybe into a copy of an SP of their own, it can be quite nice. Now, it is a bit difficult for them to play through that, especially with Fenrir being the 24 that it is, but they just pass on it, to be honest. I mean, they are not on a really bad of a clock here. We do see them going to be activating a planet that's going to let them search for a copy of Fenrir or a unicorn. And they won't be able to summon out that copy of the Kashtira in any way, shape, or form here. But they are forced with a interesting choice. Do they want to get rid of a level 2 or do they want to get rid of a Fenrir on the board? The option that you can take here may just be horrible. Like if they do attack into the level 2, which they are going to be choosing to do, the Fenrir is going to be still on the board, which can put a little bit of a pressure if they do have any other normal summon of a monster. But if they do leave level 2 and they search for or they draw into a copy of a blue, you are in quite a lot of problem being able to summon out here. But they're going to be activating the effect of the Fenrir, being able to search for another copy of itself. And now both players have a Fenrir in the hand. We are going to put the Fenrir in defense position and just pass turn on that. And so now we're hoping to once again top deck into something that we can use. We're going to go battle face, and the Diabellstar is going to attack into that copy of Fenrir. Now, we already have another copy of itself, so it's just going to replace itself essentially for that, buying us another turn and another draw. But the Snake Eyes deck just has so many insane one-card combos that are going to be able to kind of take us in for a ride. If they don't draw playable, chances are that they are drawing into hand traps. So we see the Fenrir going to be special summoned out, searching for another copy of itself here, and just passing turn once again on that. This is going to be the third turn that we're going to be seeing the Kashtira Snake Eyes deck draw into something bad here. I wonder what they're drawing into myself. It has to be those hand traps. We're going to be seeing them attack over the Fenrir once again, and we just scoop it up here, realizing that, and it was Flame Purge and a Unicorn there for the top decks. That's definitely not what you're looking for, but unfortunately the Sprite player only has hand traps as well, and the top deck would have been Bonfire. Bonfire would have let them go through, really search for Snake Eyes Ash unless we had an Ash in the hand. We did see a copy of the Ogre in hand, but at that point, like even if they didn't draw playable, if you could find a way to beat over the copy of Diabellstar would then activate the effect, sending it in the copy from your hand. And like if you have a Flame Bird, it's gonna be able to trigger, bring back out the copy of Poplar and another one. Now they wouldn't discard it that time. They would have most likely discarded a copy of the Fenrir, because then it could bring itself out to activate the effect, sending a copy of Origins or a copy of Wand, depending on what we really want to. Or in the case where we already have a bunch of stuff, we could just leave it on the field, or if they decided to like beat over it twice and not get us for game, we would then be able to swim out the copy of the Unicorn, be able to search for the Birth. Birth can then bring out the copy of the Fenrir, and then we have a lot of bodies on the field. So regardless, the Snake Eyes player was an amazing of a play at that point. Essentially going to be protecting the life points at all costs with that copy of Diabellstar by also getting a search as well. But we're going to be seeing the Snake Eyes player being forced to go second, and they do have a Ghost Ogre in their hand once again here. But we do see Sprite start off with a very powerful normal summon of a Beaver here, being able to summon out a copy of Angler. And if they do have a Red or a Carrot, they'll be protecting their field quite nicely. Like, we haven't seen monsters in the main deck have that much power in such a long time here. But we do see them link away into a Sprint. Sprint's going to activate the effect, getting hit with a copy of Imperm, not going to send that copy of Angler, and getting punished with that copy of the Carrot being summoned here. They're going to go up into a copy of Gigantic, activating the effect, getting hit with a Ghost Ogre. That's going to be turn ending. They are going to be normal summoning Snake Eyes Ash, getting hit with a copy of Imperm, setting one in passing. Yeah. We see a Swap Frog being normal summoned, activating the effect. They are thinking about this. We do see a Skill Drain being flipped face up. I mean, this is going to be a game. Yeah, we're going to see Swap Frog attack into the copy of Ash, and then just activating the effect, bouncing it back to hand because it does bounce for cost, and passing turn on that. We're going to see them set a copy of Ash Blossom and pass turn as well. It's going to be hard for them to beat this here. Yeah, unfortunately, that imperm definitely hurt. We could have protected ourselves with that Carrots being special summoned out, but at that point, you're not playing around a Biru. It's just like, I feel like you definitely summon with the Carrot there first to play through that copy of imperm. We're going to be seeing the Swap Frog being normal summon, and we can summon out the copy of the Blue and the Jet, activating the effect, bouncing back the Swap Frog here, just in case that we do get copy with it again, a Nibiru or something like that. We're going to a Mannequin Cat, attacking into the Ash, and then we can go up into a copy of the Downard and Zeus. But it's also going to be able to just make a big beat stick at this point. You know, chances are they're not going to be able to really make any plays. So we just see them pass turn on this. And then we know the Swap Frog once again here. We're going to go Battle Phase attack here for some damage, bringing them down to 28, I believe. And then Swap Frog is going to bounce back to the hand. We're going to set 1 and pass turn on this. And they see a Dark Ruler no more. We're going to set 2 and pass once again here. And there's no shot we're going to be chaining Zeus and then chaining... For a second, I thought we were going to chain Zeus and chain Crossout Call Skill Drain. It looks like they're thinking about it. Surely we don't have that combo. They're just going to pass turn on that. Okay, they're going to draw. Can they get the game here? With 22. Or 28 here. You have to find a big enough body to attack into a face down. Now, it can only be, the biggest it can be is 18, I believe, from Ash. But we're going to be seeing that Swap Frog being normal summoned once again. Do we have a... We have a red. We're going to see the Swap Frog attack, and they do take some damage here, and they're going to be able to attack into that Ash. Swap Frog is going to be bouncing itself back to the hand, you know, definitely swapping all the time. And they just scoop it up here, not having another card they can set. And that's just going to be the game for the... the Sprite player. Not looking too hot here for the Snake Eyes deck. Drawing to a lot of bricks. I mean, the Cashtira stuff can definitely be a little bit more bricky. You know, we have the Birth. You know, like, well, Unicorn's on a brick, Fenrir's on a brick, and the Field Spell's on a brick. But they're not starters like the Fiendsmith cards. The Fiendsmith cards are going to be absolutely insane starters. Being tracked being a starter. I think the only non-starter is Lurie. At that point, it's just like any 2 bodies gets you into the Fiendsmith stuff as well, which is just absolutely insane. You know, the Fiendsmith stuff can tie into the Beatrice, and then can dump the copy of Ash, can dump the copy of Poplar, can dump the copy of OSS. You know, being able to banish itself to get a search for Ash, or a search for the Poplar, which can sound myself out. Like, you have so many options with this deck that the Fiendsmith stuff is just so powerful in every deck that it's played into. But... You know, not everyone can afford the Fiendsmith cards. Therefore, you can sometimes rely on the Cashtira cards here. And Snake Eyes definitely is a powerhouse of a deck itself. But diving on the all-important Game 3, we are going to be seeing Snake Eyes going to be going first once again here. And we see a copy of Wanted as well as Ash. And we see a shifter from the side of the Sprite player. We're going to see Terraforming being activated in the main phase. Switching for a copy of the Planet card, and this is going to be hard for them. You know, this is where the Cashtira cards do shine a little bit more than the Fiendsmith stuff, being able to play under Shifter. We're going to be seeing them search for a copy of the Fenrir, summon out the Unicorn here. They already have the Fenrir in the hand, which can then search for a copy of the Birth. And because of the fact that they already had the Fenrir in the hand, they're actually going to be able to play through this a lot better than they would before. You know, being able to sometimes search for a copy of Birth. But not having another target to send is going to be kind of hard for it, or, you know, be able to bring back out. But we can just normal summon with the copy of the Fenrir, and we have a board. You know, you don't need to kind of extend any further than this. But we are playing Dracosack here, which is interesting. Going to be able to actually make some tokens. So we do see the Fenrir being sent. A lot of times you're going to be seeing the Fenrir being searched off the copy of the planet if they don't have anything else. But we see them link away into the copy of IP, and then we're going to summon out the copy of the Fenrir with the birth, and we just pass turn on this. That is quite a good board, but only because we did draw that brick into the hand of being the Fenrir. Now, does Spright have what it takes to beat this? This is an SP Fenrir pass with a set card as well, by the way. All in being Shifter. And they can do it with Gamma Burst, but I don't think they can do it in this case. We're going to see a Fenrir of their own being special summoned out. Will we see an IP into an SP? SP activate the effect, or Fenrir 1, SP 2, banishing the Fenrir, and then we're going to be seeing the SP banish itself, and I guess it would just banish the Fenrir itself. That'd be 2 bodies they get on the field. If they did normal summon a Beaver, they could SP that away if they chose to activate the effect. So they had to have like a blue or something in the hand that would kind of stop that. They're thinking about it. Now, if that is an imperm set, this would just be the right play completely. So we're going to be seeing the SP being made, and do we take the bait? Fenrir would be Chainlink 1. We might just banish the SP face down as well. And then, no, we're going to just see the SP banish the Fenrir. Not even activating it. Interesting. We're going to see a Swap Frog being normaled. Special summoning out of the blue. Not activating the effect. They're doing whatever they can take to make a Zeus line here. They do Sky Cavalry. Sky Cavalry can beat over that copy of SP, making them take 400. Sometimes you just have to be a little bit simple and sweet. They can go for a Zeus by going for Downard, and they're thinking on this. Is it a skill drain again? They're going to go for the Zeus. And we are going to be seeing a Zeus detach. And they have a Wanted here. I mean, that was a nice play. Making them think about it. They're going to search for the copy of Diabellstar. Now, the Wanted will get banished. So they're not going to get the maximum resource out of the Wanted. But still quite nice here, ending on a Zeus. We're going to pass turn on that. And now we have... Is that a Ghost Ogre as well? We see a Wanted once again being able to search here for another copy of Diabellstar. But going for the Snake Eyes one, so we can discard that off of the copy of Diabellstar. So if we have a Poplar in the hand, it's going to be a nice little combo piece. But we see Snake Eyes being sent by the Diabellstar to summon itself out. And then we can activate the effect, setting a copy of the OSS or another Wanted. Now, Zeus could send here, and that would kind of stop the lines being made, but we could always OSS, being able to search for the Ash by putting back the Snake Eyes Diabellstar, and Wanted be able to add or put back the OSS to let us draw an additional card. So maybe not the best option that we want to. You want to maybe kind of save it for them having a board. So we're going to be seeing them send the copy of Diabellstar for the Snake Eyes Ash. Ash will then be able to activate the effect, search for the copy of Poplar. I definitely agree with this. There is no really great spot to Zeus at this point. Or see Poplar being activated and effect, summoning itself out. It's going to search for the copy of the field spell. And at this point, it's going to be a little bit hard. So Poplar is going to be touching the graveyard, being able to put the Snake Eyes Diabellstar back onto the spell and trap card zone. And it's just going to be difficult from there. We could see Ash effect sending the Poplar right now before they activate the field spell, because there's no really need to place the Oak onto the field. But if they have an Ash or an interruption for that copy of Snake Eyes Ash, it could hurt a bit. But I feel like we'd probably Ash the OSS at that point. We are going to think on this. We're going to link away Ash for the copy of the Anima here. Then we're going to go up into a copy of Dark. Dark can then take the copy of Shifter here. Now, if we see another Shifter being chained on this, we're going to be seeing the Dark being hit with a copy of Zeus. I wonder why. You know, maybe they're worried they're going to go up into a copy of Princess. But we just see them Bonfire, and then they go for the Oak. Being normal summon, they do hit that with a copy of the Veiler there. So having a Veiler as well, kind of an interesting read there that we chose to go for. That I'm not exactly sure why we wanted to stop the Dark there. Especially because we already used the SP Little Knight. So we're going to see Flamebird going to be sent to the graveyard to let us summon out the copy of Poplar and Ash. Now, I'm not 100% sure how the Flamebird got sent to the graveyard. I wasn't paying that much attention there. But we can then link away for a copy of Hita. Hita can then... Oh, we did the Oak effect sending for cost. That's what it was. That makes sense. Hita's going to be able to bring out the copy of No Fire. So we're going to be placing the Snake Eyes Eye of Belstar into the Spell and Trap, summoning itself out. We're going to link it away into the copy of the Promethean Princess with Oak in the Spell and Trap card zone here. And then that's going to be able to bring out the copy of Flamebird. And we're going to be putting that Zeus into the Spell and Trap card zone here. We can actually attack for 57, which is quite a lot of damage, bringing them down to, I believe it is 13, or 23 in this case. But they're going to link away up into a copy of Raging Phoenix, and then just passing turn on this, having the Fire, as well as Oak being able to bring out the Poplar, being able to search as well here. Will Spright have what it takes? But no, they just scoop it up here. They had the Ash as well, and a Ghost Ogre, unfortunately, being the top deck. Definitely wouldn't get us anywhere. So we see Snake Eyes take the game anyways with, their powerful cards. Bonfire being able to search, through 2 hand traps and a shifter. I guess 1 hand trap and a shifter and a double Zeus. We could see Sprite still make a significant board. They are thinking about if they played it through. No, I'm setting up the copy of Swap Frog. But there's nothing else that they can do in this case. They're thinking of maybe what they should have done instead. But looking back, the carrot not being summoned out definitely hurt them a bit. But maybe we didn't need the Zeus on the Dark if we're looking back at what we could have done differently. But you live, you learn. Unfortunately, Snake Eyes is kind of the best deck of the format. No matter what you do, you kind of just lose to them. But they see them go up into a copy of the Typhon here. But they still have the Ash, no matter what they do. It's just yeah. Unfortunately, it was just not ever going to be the play. Especially with the OSS in the graveyard as well as the Wanted. They're going to get a search for a Snake Eyes Ash and then also be getting an additional draw. Ash would then be able to get them into another Poplar, being able to add back the copy of OSS. Now, it can't be used this turn, but it can always be used for discarding. And it's just kind of unreal. Regardless, hope you enjoyed watching the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know in the comment section down below what card you want banned out of the Snake Eyes deck. And we'll see you in the next one. Stay safe. Peace.